Hello. J Nell here with another 5 minute movie review. I don't know why. You guys know I'm really silly, which is actually perfect for today's movie. But real quick, I do not give away major spoilers, major plot lines. I do not do that. You can watch my movie reviews and still go ahead and enjoy the movie and watch the movie without having anything being ruined for you. However, if you are like me and you don't even want to know if somebody had a pimple and then 2 frames later they no longer had that pimple, you don't want to know anything about the movie, that's how I am, then don't watch the movie. Don't watch the video. Go ahead and watch the movie. You can come back and then watch this review, but please come back. And while we're talking about this, please subscribe, please like the video, please go ahead and comment, please share the videos, please don't forget to follow me on all platforms: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, and I'm newly on TikTok now. So yes, please don't forget to subscribe to all of those platforms. And I totally appreciate you guys bearing with me with trying to restart this movie series again. You know I love movies, so let's go ahead and get into this one. Today's movie is Meet the Blacks 2, The House Next Door, or The House Next Door, Meet the Blacks 2. I think it's actually that way. Directed by Deon Taylor. Now, real quick, the first movie came out in 2016. I recommend you go see it. You can watch this movie. It does stand alone, but you'll appreciate it more if you watch the earlier movie. Also, this movie takes place like years in the future, like in actual reality, which makes sense as far as the kids go. The girl starts off in high school. Now she's in her last year of college. The boy starts off as a preteen. Now he's a full-fledged teenager on TikTok with his friends the whole time. So it matches, unlike with The Quiet Place 2 and those kids, the inconsistency. So I like that here. The entire family is back, including Cronut, which is an awesome thing. They're great. Their chemistry is actually better. A lot of the stars that were in the old movie are also in this movie as well, but they play different characters, and I really appreciated this. As you know, Gary Owen was like one of the main bad guys in the last movie. In this one, he's like the main neighbor, and I don't want to give away too much more. Michael Blackson, who was in the last one, is also in this one, and he is hilarious. He's more funny in this one than he was in the last one. Steals every scene. He's really funny in this movie, y'all. Okay, Michael Blackson, A+. Then they also have a bunch of new cameos and new characters, so I actually don't want to name them because that's kind of the fun of these movies, is to see who they can get in these movies. These are basically low budget movies, so these are favorites they're calling in, people who we haven't seen in a while who want some exposure, you know what I mean, friends, things of that nature. So that's part of the fun of it. So there is definitely new characters in this one. The main bad guy, as you know from the preview, is Cat Williams, and he's great. He is great in this movie. He is very funny in this movie, but he comes in late. He doesn't come in until halfway into it. And from the trailers, knowing that he was the bad guy, the whole movie, I was waiting for him. I was like, okay, when are we gonna get to Cat? Because there's more people to his entourage. So you meet the other members of his entourage before you meet him. And I was like, okay, can we get to Cat? So I wish he would have came in a little bit earlier into the movie, but he was still fine anyway. The plot line of this one is a little jumbled. The first movie is funnier because the first movie, if you remember, is a parody off of The Purge, and that's it. This movie is a bunch of different Halloween ideas from different times, different genres thrown together, and it feels like that. It kind of feels like a mess. It feels like a sketch show that's run together by a storyline that kind of streams through all the sketches. That's what it feels like. So it's very disjointed. But it is still funny, just not as funny as the last one, but it is still funny. The costumes, even though this is low budget, they could have done better if they went to the Goodwill. Okay, they could have done better if they just would have had people volunteer their clothes. The costumes on this one were purposefully bad, like Halloween discount in January type bad. And the wigs were like the Tyler Perry Party City line. Purposefully bad. And I can tell you that they're purposefully bad because a bunch of the characters have on these horrible wigs, and they all do things that accentuate these horrible wigs. Cat Williams' wig gets worse and worse throughout the movie. I promise you. 2 frames later, the wig is worse. You're like, that's not even the same wig. So I loved that. I love that type of silly humor. The whole movie's real silly, real lowbrow humor. Turn your brain off. Also, they do things like over-exaggerated reactions when they're like, okay, we're gonna sneak around the building. They're like, shh, stupid. You can tell that they improvised a lot with each other throughout this entire movie, and I appreciated that. That's actually what made it funny. Also, the special effects, purposefully bad. The few little explosions. I'm pretty sure there was dummies involved. The blood. The blood was horrible movie blood. Every time Cat Williams floated, and they made him look smaller. I mean, they just did all of these really silly, bad effects, bad costume, bad makeup. Everybody looked washed out, and it was purposefully done, and it really held the movie together. Really had the movie together. I think that Charlie Murphy, they did do this is PG-13, I'm pretty sure, and your whole family can enjoy it. There's some swear words, but there's not like any nudity or any sex scenes or anything like that. Charlie Murphy, as you know, is in the last one. Of course, he passed away, and they do a little tribute to Charlie Murphy, and I did appreciate that. I think that's all. Yeah, I think I did it all. And we're right at 5 minutes. Hey, so that is it. That is it for my review of the House Next Door, Meet the Blacks 2. Like I said in the review, I did like it. I do recommend it. You don't have to pay for it in the theater. Go ahead and watch it on whatever platform it's going to come on. Come on. So now it's time for my wants in the future. If they're going to make a 3, and this movie is set up for there to be a 3, I want them to take it back to parroting one specific movie, or possibly 1 or 2 specific franchises, instead of having all these different themes jumbled together. It really, I have a fan on, as you can tell, because it's hot in my apartment, but a hair flew in from somewhere. I don't know if it was my dog hair. Anyway, that was crazy. It like flew in. So if they go ahead and do another 3, they need to pick a steady theme like they did in the first one, how it was based off The Purge. Even with the scary movies, the first one, if you remember, it's based off of Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer. I think there might be some other stuff in there, but those are basically the 2 movies, and really it's mainly Scream. Once they started throwing in aliens and all that other stuff, it really became a mess. And so I think we might have that happen here too for the 3rd movie, if they do a 3rd movie. So that's pretty much all I have for the wants. Keep it silly. Keep it lowbrow, you know, but yeah, just pick a theme and do a parody off of the main 1 franchise, 2 franchises. That way the film could feel more cohesive. That's it. That's all I have to say for The House Next Door, Meet the Blacks 2, directed by Deon Taylor. Please give me all of your thoughts of the movie. You probably didn't even know it was out because they barely advertised it. So yeah, if you haven't already, please subscribe, please like, please comment down below. Please let me know how you feel about silly humor. Let's talk about silly humor. Let's talk about horror comedies, because that's what this is. You know, you have Shaun of the Dead and all of that. So let's go ahead and get our horror comedy talk on. And yeah, subscribe, like, talk to me, take care. Goodbye.